The Alfie Whattam podcast.
What about people have been doing the job for a while, they're spitting out great code, they got promoted, they're a senior, and then boom, there's an opportunity to become a leader, to become a manager, to train, to coach, to inspire and mentor others. You're all in this path now. What advice would you give to people that are then making that transition from individual contributor to leader of a team or area? Jess, what would be kind of your top tip for people that are just kind of going on that journey?
Yeah, I would say definitely start off by analysing your skills first. I think when you transition into more of the leadership role, you have to identify your skills and, what you want to improve on. Make a list, do a SWOT analysis on yourself, and, just keep focusing on improving. And I think another big thing is once you're in that area, ensure you're asking for constant feedback from people, because I think, that's one of the biggest ways we can improve going forward is, we can all do our jobs and think we're doing well, but if we're not asking for feedback on how we can potentially improve, whether it's meetings or presentations or just general one-to-ones with engineers, just constantly ask for feedback, and that's how you can get better at your job.
Yeah, it's often a case that you don't know what you don't know. Like you need to ask people for feedback and ask people for constructive feedback. Because if you just say, hey, how am I doing? Yeah, you're doing amazing. Everybody's going to say that to you. But if you ask, hey, can you tell me what was good about what I did? Okay, great. And what could be better about what I did? What should I start doing, which I'm not doing? What should I continue doing, which I'm already doing? What should I stop doing, which I'm doing at the moment? By asking those really good questions, that will allow you to become a lot more effective as a leader. Absolutely. And Mike, what advice would you give for people that are looking to step up and become a guide to others?
I think the first thing is just trying to make sure it's the right thing for you, because like people management isn't for everybody.
Absolutely.
Because obviously with most companies you'll find that there's like a more technical route and a more people management side.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of understanding like the people side is for you. So I think the key thing is maybe to talk to other people in the industry, people within your own business and that kind of thing, and maybe even like have some like shadowing opportunities to make sure like the kind of things that you'll be doing in that role is relevant to like what you want to try and achieve within your career. So it's something that I did myself, and it kind of proved that even though I do love the technical side, I do love the people side probably a little bit more. So I index more to that element, and I think it's just kind of key to make sure that is the right thing. And I guess it's almost like not being afraid to almost like make that jump. And as we said before, you can swap and change as well. Like you're not always fixed in that position, and you can try something. It doesn't work out for you, you can always change back.
Yeah.
But yeah, just make sure it's the right thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, and it doesn't need to be. You can be a great individual contributor and have an amazing career. You don't need to become a people leader. But for those that want to, hopefully those nuggets are helpful. Let's say those people have taken that advice. Suddenly they're incredible leaders, and the next step is boom. They need to start building out their teams. They need to start hiring people. They need to start building culture and developing trust amongst their employees. What wisdom would you give to people who are looking to hire, who are looking to interview, bring on board talent, train them, keep them, retain them, keep them happy, keep them productive, keep them motivated? What hiring insights would you each share? What would you say, Andy?
I think with COVID, we're all working much more remotely now. So I think one thing would be personally, I think you should look to broaden what the markets you hire in and the talent pool.
Yeah.
Don't just focus at hiring sort of London-centric or Manchester-centric or wherever your offices are, or UK-centric. Yeah. Open it up globally. We've done that at Tangent, and we've hired some absolutely fantastic members of staff that we'd struggled to find in the UK with the market here. And then fostering remote culture is hard. It's so much harder than face-to-face. Yeah. So you need to look at how you can utilize, obviously, Teams calls and online socials. And it's also important to fly people all over from wherever they may be in the world to have face-to-face time with people, either at conferences or the Christmas party. And that's something we do as well. We fly over all of our staff for the Christmas party because we think it's important.
Of course, that's absolutely. I mean, there's coffee boiler room chats are just as important as the formal one-to-ones, right? So you win hearts and not just minds. But yeah, I mean, that's good advice. If you're gonna want to hire, don't just limit yourself to a geographical region. Consider remote and get the best person in the country, in the world, not just somebody 45 minutes down the road. What's your tips? What would your key nuggets of wisdom be for those looking to hire and scale their teams?
I think Andy's just stolen all my points, to be honest. I think like when hiring teams, I think like one of the main things, especially like what I look for is kind of making sure people have got like a good growth mindset.
Yeah.
So when you're building the teams, it's kind of giving them the opportunity to expand on themselves and like innovate and everything. And it's kind of like maintaining that culture of like rather being like sort of rigid and like everything needs to fit within a box, and making sure you're getting people in who are kind of happy to explore new avenues and try different tools and technologies and that kind of thing, because that can like really like augment the business, I guess, moving forward.
Yeah, I mean that's the big thing for me. Technical skills, they can be taught, but that drive and ambition and willingness to grow and learn and do and have and become and give and share more. That is the difference, right, between an A-lister, 10x coder and somebody else. Jess, what would be your advice to those looking to hire and build out?
Same as sort of what's already been said, but other than that, I think another big important factor is company culture. When we're looking for people, we need to identify our company culture first, how we work, how we want to move forward, what our next plans are, and ensure that we're hiring people who align with our future plans, because that's how we're going to have people who want to scale up with us and, want to build this fantastic future with the company and enjoy the people around us and enjoy the way we work as a company and all the company culture. So I think that's a really important thing.
Yeah, culture is important. I think it's important to not just think culture fit, but also think culture add. How can that person bring something to the table, as opposed to just looking for like the same background all the time. Otherwise you just get a team of straight white guys, and that's often like 90% of the problem a lot of the time. No diversity of thought, opinion, and as a result the product looks like the same because it's being developed by the same kind of mindset.
Hey, thanks for watching this YouTube video. If you want to see more like this, please remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.